Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is currently just turned 12:38 a.m. on, what is it, Friday evening? It doesn't seem like a Friday evening. And I was just sitting here playing solitaire on my iPad. You guys want to see? This is how I have been spending my day. Do you guys want to see? This is kind of funny. Okay. So here I have my solitaire game all set up, and then this is what I do. You ready? Hold on.
Lamar Sally a few times to try to convince her to cancel the program. He doubted Buckley had unearthed any new...
And then I listen to my audiobook while I'm playing solitaire. That is the exciting evening. Alex is inside. He is playing Township and watching supposedly the last episode of Narcos, but he's been meaning to watch the last episode of Narcos for like 3 days now, and he hasn't finished it. We went out to dinner earlier today. We've spent like the whole day together. It's been really nice. The weather was actually... I was just reaching for lip gloss when I realized it's in my bag in the living room. Did my hair tonight. It's so muggy out and humid. It feels so nice. I was like, I don't know if it's really, it feels muggy. I was like, I think I kind of want to go for a swim tonight, being that we only have one more night in the pool. Tomorrow is our last night, and then we come back on Sunday to Indianapolis. So, I don't know if I'm going to go for a swim later or not. I am going to watch Ratchet, though, because I started watching it last night after I got done vlogging, and I, fell in love with it. I watched the first 2.5 episodes, and I thought it was just fantastic. I think it's really, really good. I finished Unsolved Mysteries last night. I wasn't real thrown out with Unsolved Mysteries, the second season. I didn't think it was bad. I thought they were really sad cases. So I'd watched 2.5 of them. I finished watching, or maybe it was yesterday. Did I do it before I vlogged? I may have finished them before I vlogged yesterday. I watched the one about the ghosts in the town where the earthquake happened in Japan. And then I watched the one about... the lady that fell into the lake. She didn't fall into that lake. That was murder. That was, I believe 100% that was murder. And then I watched the one about the missing kids, which was from, I think it was from, is that in New York City? Or was it Chicago? I can't remember, but it was really, really sad. And, it was interesting, though, to see, all of the age progression stuff. And how, if you guys haven't watched it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but this won't ruin it for you. This girl that went missing as an infant, somebody came in and said that they were a nurse, and they took the baby from the mother, and then they found her, I think it was 23 years later. She was pregnant, and so she was trying to get insurance, and they told her that her birth certificate was a fraud, and so she was trying to find, she had always suspected that the person that raised her wasn't her real parents, is what she said, or what they said. Anyway, that one was interesting, but it was really short. It was 35 minutes. So, they didn't even seem like full episodes. But anyway, so I watched those last night. I may have finished those before I vlogged, though. I don't remember what I vlogged. And then I watched the first 2.5 episodes of Ratchet. I didn't think I was going to like it. I really didn't. I was kind of unsure of what I was going to think of. I mean, I like everything that Ryan Murphy puts out. I can't really think of one thing that he's done that I haven't liked. I just think he's such a fantastic director. I think his casting is just unbelievable for everything that he does. So Ratchet is based on Mildred Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Casey, the book that was then made into a movie with Jack Nicholson. I know I watched the movie because my mom loved Jack Nicholson, and I remember I can see them sitting in the main area. I feel like there was a scene when he's riding around in a chair or something, in the the main nurse's station area, and I can see her walking around. But it's not really that story at all. It's just because Alex and I were talking about this today because he's watched it and he hasn't seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and so I was explaining to him that I think that it was just like based on that character, and he's like, is it like what happened after she left there? I'm like, no, I don't think that this character has anything to do with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I think it just like they just took that character and then like made a story of her own, if that makes sense. It's really interesting, but then it ties into this whole like other like sub story that's really the main story about who she is and why she's there and stuff. The photography is unbelievable. Like it's so colorful. The costuming, everything about it is absolutely unbelievable. And I am like such a huge Sarah Paulson fan. And there's like tons of like, it's like very like well, it's Ryan Murphy, but it's very pro LGBTQIA+. Sarah Paulson's in it. She's the main character. It talks in there about homosexuality being like a mental health disorder like back in the day, which is interesting because, you know, I come into contact with people all the time that they're like, oh, like that's not really the case. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like this is like the 50s, like the late 50s, early 60s, you know, that this kind of stuff still like existed in our country, you know, and that it had a mental health diagnosis and all this kind of stuff. So it's interesting to see that. There's a lot of gay actors in it. Who else is in it? I was trying to think that was gay. Alex and I were talking about it today. Charlie Carver, is that his name? Alex said he and his brother were in Desperate Housewives. We were talking about him. Sarah Paulson. Who else? I'd have to look up the cast. Sharon Stone is fantastic in it. I love Sharon Stone so much. Who texted me? Oh, Mel texted me. Oh. Thank you, Mel. I'm gonna call her tomorrow anyway. Cast. Because I'm like forgetting somebody. Judy Davis is so good in it, you guys. I just remembered her. I haven't pulled her up yet. It's funny that they say, oh, Cynthia Nixon is in it too. Amanda Plummer, she did like all those crazy roles back in the day. Do you guys remember her? And Brandon Flynn plays Sharon Stone's son. And I didn't even recognize him like when I was watching it. And Alex goes, do you know who he is? And I said, no, who is it? And he said, he's Justin from 13 Reasons Why. And I didn't recognize him. Charlie Carver, yeah. I don't know who, like this John Brianas, who plays the doctor, like I don't know who he is. And this Corey Stoll, he's a good looking guy. What does it say? He is best known for his roles as Congressman Peter Russo. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, that's how I knew him. Oh, and The Strain. How old is he? He's 44. God, he's 6'2". He's good looking. He plays, if you watched it, he plays the, what do you call, who is this? Nadia Bowers is his wife. Who is she? Oh, she's pretty. He plays the, what do you call it? She's got cute style. She's like always like in like a silk shift dress, but kind of like vintage looking. He plays the reporter that like then Sharon Stone, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody because this won't ruin it for you, that Sharon Stone hires later. This happens like right at the beginning of the series. Anyway, I'm just like completely like thrown out by how good it is. I really didn't think, I thought, okay, I'll watch it, it'll be okay. And after The Haunting of Bly Manor, I just like wasn't that excited about it. But it is really, really good, you guys. I mean, like, just like the cinematography is just like absolutely beautiful just to watch it. And Sarah Paulson is just like, to watch her, there's this whole scene, and it's in the trailer, between her and Judy Davis, who I absolutely love anyway. But it's this whole scene about this peach that she's like, that's my peach, and Judy Davis is eating it, and she says, this doesn't have your name on it. And she's like, well, who would write their name on a peach? And then at the end she says, they're like standing there when the doctor is walking in the room, and she and like Sarah Paulson and Judy Davis have gone back and forth about this peach. And this other nurse is like sitting in the room and like she says something and Sarah Paulson like snaps at her and she's like, "Shut up." I think Alex might have just gone to bed. I can't tell if the TV or either that or he's still no. I can see like the TV light going off and on, you know. But he's literally sitting in there like this playing, what do you call it, Township. He's like obsessed with that game. But anyway, they go back and forth. Alex and I got laughing so hard about this at dinner tonight. They go back and forth about this peach. And then at the end, Judy Davis is like real smug because she like bites her peach and she like eats it. And she said, this is in the trailer, so it won't ruin it for you. I won't tell you what happens afterwards about this. But she said, she says to her, she goes, nothing else to say. Cat got your tongue. And she goes, no. She goes, what are you gonna do about it? And Sarah Paulson, she goes, what are you gonna do about it? And Sarah Paulson doesn't say anything. And she goes, Cat got your tongue. And she goes, no, I'm thinking. And she goes, about what? And she goes, all the things I'm gonna do about it. It's like so fantastic. They're just like, their back and forth is like so beautiful. I mean, just the acting. Like, this is one of the things I really, really appreciate about Ryan Murphy is like the acting is on a level that like, we haven't really seen like ensemble cast acting like that, like in forever, you know? Like, I mean, it's been a really, really long time. There's parts of it that remind me kind of like Broadway Danny Rose and like, I don't know. I would be interested to know if like Woody Allen is like, has like his like directing has been an influence on Ryan Murphy. I should look that up and see if it says anywhere because there's things about it. Well, I will tell you, there's things about like his, like the way that he puts his shows together that remind me of like old Woody Allen movies. But the music that he uses for the whole first episode is from Psycho. Alex was like listening, like he was watching it in the bedroom one night, and I was like, that music's so familiar to me. I think I shared this on here anyway. And Ryan Murphy's influences. He had to have done an interview somewhere where it says, Brad Falchuk is the other guy that produces the shows with him. Modern Crime, Halloween. Do you know Ryan Murphy and I are, he was supposed to be born on Halloween, it says. He and I he's from Indianapolis. It doesn't say in here. I'd kind of be interested to know who his like directorial influences are, though. He is an incredible director. Like the acting of all of it. I was thinking about this last night, like because I had never like researched Sarah Paulson, and I've watched like literally almost everything that she's been in. She actually there was I think she was in a Woody Allen movie called The Sisters or something like that. I was looking it up. She's from Tampa, Florida. Her backstory is interesting. Sarah Paulson. I'll tell you the movie she was in back in the day. She did a lot of theater. What was the movie? She was in Bird Box. She was in Ocean's 8. I don't remember her in those movies. Filmography. Okay. It was a movie that she did with like other sisters. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, off-Broadway plays Crimes of the Heart. I wonder who she played in Crimes of the Heart. Oh my god, I love that play so much, that movie. I swore though it said that she was in some movie that I was like, oh, that kind of surprises me that she was in this movie. Check out Chalet Appeal. This is different than what I read last night. Maybe it was Ocean's 8 that I was thinking of. But I don't think so. Maybe it wasn't her that I was looking up. Although I don't know who it would be. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but if you read about her, she's from Tampa, Florida. Her whole story is really interesting. What awards has she won? It says full list of awards. Man, she's won all kinds of things. She's had 13 wins and 32 nominations. I love her so much. There's something about like how she talks that I just think is so sexy. Anyway, it's really, really good. So, check out Ratchet if you haven't watched it. It's not super scary. I would say there's parts of it that are gory. They're like murder scenes and stuff like that, but it's not like there's some like death scenes and stuff that are kind of gory. I would give like trigger warnings for... I'm kind of actually surprised it doesn't have a trigger warning on it. But it's just like not focusing, I can't tell. But I would give a trigger warning about mental health issues and all that kind of stuff. Because there's a, I mean, it's about a mental health hospital. It addresses a lot of that stuff in there. So anyway, that was last night. I stayed up way too late. I stayed up till like 5:30 in the morning watching. And I like made it halfway through. I wanted to stay up like later and watch finish the third episode, but I was like, no, you need to go to bed. Peter, you need to go to bed. So today I got up about 11:30, 11:45. Alex got up when my alarm went off at like 11. I think I set it for 11:30 or 11:15 because it was supposed to be nice today. So we came out here, and it was like off and on sun. And I was in the pool a lot. I got in the pool a lot today. The pool was cold, but I mean, it wasn't freezing, but it was like colder. But it was nice out. It was really hot today, but it wasn't like super sunny. Neither one of us got a lot of sun today. He laid out over there, and then he jumped in the pool, and he and I were like in the pool a lot. And then like the yard guys came and were like working on the yard today. They were really friendly. And then this woman, this was really interesting. This woman, this was later in the afternoon at like 4 o'clock. We were sitting out here. I was in the pool and Alex was sitting on the chair over there, and we were just like talking. And it's been really, like, this is one of the things about getting a house that's been so nice is, like, we really, like, other than go out to dinner, we haven't, like, and seen Brittany those 2 days, we haven't really, like, left the house a whole lot. And in fact, we were talking about the possibility of maybe, like, coming back down here and, like, renting a house again, like, around Thanksgiving or something like that, just for a couple days. But it's been really nice to just, we won't probably do that, I'm sure. But it's been really nice, like, we wouldn't even leave, just get groceries and just stay here. It has been so nice just to, like, hang out and, you know, be with each other. Like, all day today, we were kind of just, like, out here talking, and, you know, it just was really fun today. And, the battery died, and I did not even see it flashing, you guys. I didn't see it flashing at all. Anyway, it's just been really, really nice. We've been sitting out here, like, just, like, all day, just kind of, like, talking and hanging out and stuff like that. But, okay, this is really crazy what happened. So we were sitting out here. Alex was, like, sitting over by the chair, and I was, like, in the pool. I was just, like, splashing around and diving and stuff, and we were, like, talking. And this woman, like, comes, and she was, like, hey, she was like, I got it, like, approved with, like, the owners and whatever. We're like, what? And she's like, to go, like, diving off of your, she was like a marine biologist that works for the state of Florida, to, like, go diving off of the pier. She, like, brought this huge ladder. She had this huge ladder, like, to go down into the water. And she was going down there, and she was looking for seagrass, I think is what she said. Anyway, she was really, really nice. She was, like, answering all of our questions. I was actually telling her, I was like, I just read this book about this woman that, because everybody keeps on saying stuff about alligators. And I was like, are there alligators in there? And she's like, no, because it's salt water. I don't know what that means. But she said, this leads straight out into the ocean. And she was like, But I thought that alligators could be in salt water, and I thought alligators could be in it. That's not how she said it. I can't remember what she said it, but she said there's no alligators right here. I should look that up because I swore that's what she said. Maybe I misunderstood what she said. Can alligators be in salt water? Alligators are primarily freshwater animals and they do not live in the ocean. Alligators probably aren't one of them. While alligators can tolerate salt water for a few hours or even days, they're primarily, I guess she was right. So she was like, this leads right out into the ocean. And so she was like, no, but she was like, there's not even really a lot of like fish in here. She was like, there's just little fish, but she was like, she was looking for certain kinds of seagrass. I don't know. She was like kind of explaining it to us. And I was telling her about the book that I read called The Woman at the Bottom of the Sea. And she was like, oh yeah. And she was like, she was telling me that at one time she wanted to go and do like diving, like for homicide department or something. I don't know. But anyway, she was really nice. She was really cool. She was like my age. It was funny. And she was like, had a wetsuit on. And I was like, at first I was like, who is this woman that's just like walking? She was like, so anyway, she was like so friendly. And she said there was like oysters down there and seagrass. And then like, what'd she say? There was like a cement block. And she said there's like really nothing down there. And Alex was like, oysters like the kind that you can eat? She goes, no, not like the kind that you can eat. And but she was super friendly. So that was that. And then Alex went inside and he was like talking to his friend on the phone, and he had some work stuff that he had to do today. So I sat out here and I finished my last Janet DeLeon book, the third Misfortune book in the Misfortune series. Okay, I'm so completely addicted to those books. I literally could just listen to one after the other, except that I wanted to read this book that I just started, which is called Death Overdue. It's the first book in the Haunted Library mystery series by Alison Brooke. It's completely cheesy. It's completely corny. It's a comfy book, comfy mystery, a cozy mystery, and I'm obsessed already. I don't even know how far I am in it. Hold on a second. Let me see. Well, I don't know because I can't really tell. I think I'm like an hour into it already. It has a really cute, I don't know if you'll be able to, you can't see it, but it's a really cute cover on it. It's like a library and it has like all these balloons that are like jack-o'-lanterns. I don't think it has really anything to do with Halloween though. But it's about this woman and she's like almost 30 and she moves to her home back home to her home in Connecticut, and her dad's like in prison or jail or something, and her mom's moved to California and she's living with her aunt and uncle that like live like this cute little, of course, like, you know, house in town, and she's staying with them. And I think she used to work for a library, and she's kind of like punk and different, so she starts working for the library, and then they offer her this position as like her position is like she's in charge of, you guys are like, Peter, we don't care, she's in charge of like the events, like she's an event planner for the library. And this detective is coming to talk about this murder that he has supposedly solved. Okay, but at the same time, he's coming to like be a speaker for one of her programs that she just took over. But while this is all going on and she's getting acclimated to this new library, she has to like change her look and everything, and she has to kind of like not be so punk rock and all this kind of stuff. She's like, I can still wear my leggings and my Doc Martens on the weekend. It's real cute, you guys. She's like, she has a ghost. There's this ghost of this old librarian that like whispers to her and tells her like what to do and what to say and all this kind of stuff. It's real sweet. So anyway, that was that. Sat out here and I played about 10 games of, probably 15 games of solitaire, probably 20 in all honesty, of solitaire, and I finished the Misfortune book. I don't even know what the titles of those books are. I just know it's like the third one in the series. And I was like, okay, I need to read something different because I had downloaded a bunch of books. I actually downloaded this book that I saw a friend of mine post on Instagram. He's actually not, why am I looking at Instagram? He's actually not like a friend through, I mean, he just reads. and he was reading, he put up the cover of this book, and I looked into it, and I was like, oh, this sounds really, really good. The book is called Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam. There's 3 Agatha Christie books that are included in the thing. But I also bought Death on the Nile, because that was like one of my favorite Agatha Christie books when I was, well, I loved the movie when I was growing up as a kid, but they're making it into a new movie. Plus I got Summer of Night by Dan Simmons, because somebody told me a long time ago that that was really good, but it's 22 hours long, you guys. And then The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, because that's what The Haunting of Bly Manor was based on, because I wanted to read that. It's only 4 hours and 40 minutes. Amityville Horror, all these books I got that were like free in the included one. But listen to this, Leave the World Behind. Let me read you the synopsis for this, because I think it sounds really good. My friend always reads the most interesting books. I love Goodreads, but sometimes, here it is, it's hard to look stuff up on here. Okay. Leave the World Behind, this is what the cover looks like. By Rumaan Alam, author of Rich and Pretty. Has 3.5, when did it come out? 3.5 stars out of 5. Came out October 6, 2020, so it's new. 256 pages, hardcover. A magnetic novel about 2 families, strangers to each other, who are forced together on a long weekend gone terribly wrong. Amanda and Clay head out to a remote corner of Long Island, expecting a vacation, a quiet reprieve from life in New York City, quality time with their teenage son and daughter, and a taste of the good life in the luxurious home they've rented for the week. But a late night knock on the door breaks the spell. Ruth and GH are an older black couple. It's their house, and they've arrived in a panic. They bring the news that a sudden blackout has swept the city. But in this rural area, with the TV and internet now down and no cell phone service, it's hard to know what to believe. Should Amanda and Clay trust this couple, and vice versa? What happened back in New York? Is the vacation home isolated from civilization a truly safe place for their families, and are they safe from one another? Suspenseful and provocative, Rumaan Alam's 3rd novel is keenly attuned to the complexities of parenthood, race, and class. Leave the World Behind explores how our closest bonds are reshaped and unexpected new ones are forged in moments of crisis. I think that sounds so fantastic. So I know it's not a cozy mystery, but I got a bunch of notifications. Hold on a second. Friend request. I accept all friend requests on Goodreads, because I love Goodreads so much. So tonight, well, when we were driving through Fort Lauderdale the other day, Alex, we passed by this restaurant, and was that yesterday? I think it was yesterday, and it was called Casablanca, maybe? Cafe Casablanca, I think is what it's called. And it's like this old house, Cafe Casablanca. It's on the corner. It's like this old house. It's like 2 stories. And it's really cute. It actually reminds me of this restaurant in Indianapolis called Mama Corolla's. So anyway, it's like a big stone, walkway and stuff like that. And it's outside, they have this huge patio outside where you can eat. So he was like, do you want to go there? Because we went there when we were here 11 years ago for our very first trip. That was our first trip together. So we were like, yeah. So tonight, though, I was so tired, and I spent a lot of time talking on the phone today. I talked to my dad and stepmom, and I didn't get a hold of Tawny Jean, but I talked to a bunch of other people today on the phone, and then Alex and I just being out in the sun today just kind of wore me out. And then I was trying to lay down and take a little bit of a nap while he was doing some work and stuff after I got done listening to my audiobook, and I just could not fall asleep. So I got up and I was we thought they were only open till 9, but they were open till 10. And I was like, do you want to go to Casablanca tonight, Cafe Casablanca tonight, or do you want to go tomorrow night? It's up to you. And he was like, let's just go tonight, because then tomorrow we can relax, and if we decide to go at the last minute somewhere to eat, we can go. And I said, okay. So I took a shower and I got ready, and we went. It was such a nice night, you guys. It's so beautiful tonight. And in Florida, it's warm, and it's it feels this is gonna sound weird, today wasn't a day that I would want to be on the beach. Like, it was fine to be in the pool and stuff like that, but it was like, it felt like a warm fall day in Indiana. I don't even know how to explain it, but anyway, but it was nice to be able to get into the pool. So anyway, we went to the restaurant, and Alex parked and was like, you get a table, I'll park. So I was like, okay. And he was like, the guy was like, do you want inside or outside? I was like, we want outside. So he like put us around the corner, and it was like us and one other couple on this like little patio. There were only 2 tables, and the tables were like 10 feet apart from each other. And we were sitting out there, and the couple like literally left like 5 minutes after we got there. And the guy, Alex pointed down, he goes, look, the guy's got your golden goose shoes on. The guy had my like golden goose shoes, you know, that I love, that I've been actually wearing a lot on this trip. But so I've actually got some wear out of them. But so we sat down there, and I just really wasn't that hungry tonight. So I got a wedge salad with no bacon. And then food in South Florida is so expensive. Y'all, why, that live down here, why is food so expensive? I don't understand, y'all, I don't understand it, okay? But like Miami, it's not even just Miami, it's like down here too, like even where we're staying, okay? Like I could not afford to go out to eat like the way it is down here. Anyway, so I got a wedge salad. It was okay. And Alex was like, how's your wedge? I was like, I mean, it's not the best wedge I've ever had in the world. It was fun. Like, we had a lot of fun at dinner. Like, the place is fun. There was, like, loud music around. Like, they were playing, like, music, like, in the main patio outside around. But we were, like, isolated from it. We were literally, like, around the corner on this little patio all by itself that you could only get to from the sidewalk or from, like, opening the door inside to come outside. And the guy didn't go through that way, so he had to, like, come around. We were literally out there by ourselves. It was like, I said, Alex, people are gonna like think that we like paid extra for like a romantic experience. But we were like literally like our view, because we were sitting side by side, which we never do, I wasn't gonna sit with my back to the street and just like look at the wall, you know, so we were sitting side by side, but our view was the ocean, and it was absolutely beautiful. And we got talking about megalodon sharks. That's what we talked about at dinner tonight. He was like, they don't even exist. I said, I think they still do. And I was like looking them up, and he was like, see, they don't exist, they're extinct. And I said, no, I think it's possible that they could still exist out there somewhere. There's probably one out there right now. I said, what would you do if a megalodon shark... Oh, because he was like, would you live on that boat out there, that ship? And I said, hell no, there's megalodon sharks out there. He said, you wouldn't live on that big ship out there? I said, no, what if a megalodon shark came out of the water right now and just like ate it up? So anyway, but we had a nice dinner. We kind of had a little bit of a sad moment. We talked about the dogs a little bit and how much we miss Pee-Pee and how hard it is. It's hard... like being away and then knowing that we're gonna go home and get the dogs, and like Pee-Pee is not part of that. Like it still doesn't feel real, you know? It feels like he's been gone, like you guys, like 10 months or something, but you know, almost 11. But it feels weird, you know, like when we're away, it's not conscious. So then when we're getting ready to go back, it's like, I told him tonight, I mean, we throw around this idea of getting a dog, you know, back and forth, and I heard something out in the water. It's probably an alligator in the salt water. Like, Boo Radley is very territorial, even of Tucker. Like, at night, if I kiss, like, if I kiss Tucker, like, if I'm petting Boo and then I go over to pet Tucker, when, like, Boo is in between the pillows, like, all tucked back, and I'm like, Tucker, you're such a good boy, and I, like, kiss him, you know, whatever, on his head, Boo Radley will go, like, he gets very jealous, right? And I think the older he gets, he doesn't understand, and, like, he and Tucker are so close, but, like, when other dogs come around us, like, he doesn't like it. And I just don't think, if it was just Tucker, I would get another dog. Because first of all, I don't think Tucker can handle being alone. And I don't think Tucker would be jealous of another puppy. I think he would train another puppy and they would become really good friends. But I don't think that's the case with Boo Radley. I don't think he would understand. I think he would be confused. And so I told Alex tonight, I said, you know, I don't think I really want to get another dog while they're both still here, which makes me sad. Like, I really want to give them as much attention as I possibly can, you know, and I'm not in any rush to get another dog. We love Boo and Tucker so much. And he's walking into the kitchen. I bet he's gonna go to bed. He didn't even start watching that show. And, you know, if Boo Radley at some point, if he's the first one to go, that's when we started crying. We were both of us crying, talking about it. Then I think that we need to think about getting another one for Tucker. But, he must just still be watching TV. But if Tucker's the first to go, then we're not going to get another one. And hopefully that'll be years down the road. We won't even have to worry about that. I mean, I can't, like, go through it again right now. I don't know. You know, when people, like, lose dogs, like, one after another, it's just, like, I can't even imagine, you know? It's, like, it's so hard. But I think that's kind of where we're at. And then on the way home, driving home, we were, like, kind of driving through some of the neighborhoods and stuff, and so I was like, so we've decided, like, this isn't where we want to be. And Alex was like, yeah, but he goes, but I do think that if we're not in Miami, I want to be in a house. And I was like, okay, which is good, because, like, that's totally where I was too. We have loved renting this house. We have loved staying here. This house is beautiful. We will be renting many Airbnbs in the future. This has been really, really nice to just, like, have a place, like, you know, to, like, go in and out of the bedroom and, you know, just relax. And it's just been, and you know what's so funny is, like, Alex and I are so clean that, like, Alex unpacks all of his clothes, like, when we get somewhere, but, like, I don't. I always keep everything in my suitcase. Like, my suitcase is, like, right in there. But, like, in the kitchen, it's like, we've been, like, taking out the trash, and I did dishes tonight. I mean, we keep the kitchen so clean. I mean, everything, even, like, the dining room table in there where, like, we've been working and stuff is, like, so clean. He, like, folds a blanket that he uses every night. So it's, like, been really nice to, like, have a place that's our own, that's, like, super, you know, clean and not, like, little, even cluttered whatsoever. We really had a good time staying here. And he has stayed in Airbnbs before with, like, Sarah. And when Sarah moved back from California, and I stayed in one in Arizona, but we've never stayed, we don't think we've stayed in one before together. We can't remember. So anyway, but we're definitely going to do this again sometime, because this was really fun. But this area, we were both talking about it. I said, you know, I just can't, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but it's just like when I'm in Miami, he was like, well, what is it about Miami? And I'm like, I mean, Miami, it's just, it feels so intercultural, and it just is like, I don't know, it's just like so international. And, you know, you're walking down a street and you hear 15 different languages, and it just is like a more laid back feeling. I don't know how to explain it. This kind of seems a little formal where we're at, a little bit, you know? And I've never, like, I like Fort Lauderdale, it's okay, but I've never been there and been like, I have to move here. You know what I mean? I've never felt that way. I did like Las Olas, like the old part of Las Olas Boulevard or Street or whatever it's called way back in the day, but I've never felt that way. So, this is where we're going from here on out, is that we are going to look at Hollywood and Aventura, but we can do that from Miami. And we're going to look at Brickell in Miami. Those are the three areas that we want to be. If we pick Aventura or Hollywood, it will be a house. And we have both decided that maybe look for something that's not super expensive. That could be a little bit of a fixer-upper, but that could be livable. So that, like, it doesn't, like, it's not a money pit. You know, you could, like, live in it as is, but that, like, over time we can make it really nice. We really like what they've done to this house here. I mean, the management company was telling us that this house doesn't even look like the same house, like, when these people bought it and, like, they started. And like, it is just, all of, like, the little details are beautiful. The house is just so cool inside. And the backyard, I love the backyard. It's so nice. And so Alex and I were talking about, like, we could get something that wasn't super expensive, you know, like, not get something that looks inside exactly the way that we want it to, but, like, maybe over time, like, kind of fix it up together. And that would be a project that we could do over, you know, like, the next 10 years or something like that, to get it to the point that we really wanted it to get to. So that's the next thing is, we've already been looking at places in Brickell. I haven't been talking a whole lot about that, but we've been looking at a lot of buildings down there. So that's one thing, not through a realtor or an agent, but just looking at, like, stuff that comes up and is available. But it's hard to see in pictures online, and then the difference, so in person. So that's the next step, is we think we're going to go with Brittany's realtor because she really likes him. And the next time that we're down here, see if he'll, show us some of these places in Brickell, and then have him pull some areas of Hollywood, because we don't really know Hollywood or Aventura at all. I think we're kind of like leaning more towards Hollywood a little bit. So, yeah. Fort Lauderdale is cute. It really is. But it feels, okay, like this is, I know when people are like, but you want to be in Miami? Okay. It feels very, Fort Lauderdale feels very spring break to me. I don't know how to explain it. It just is like, I mean, Ocean Drive, like at 10 o'clock at night, feels very spring break too. But Brickell is not. And Brickell is Miami. I mean, there's South Beach and there's Miami. Somebody actually said that on here. They're like, you always talk about like South Beach. I mean, there's like Miami Beach, and there's, I mean, I know that there's a difference between the two. And there definitely is. So, I mean, God, I would love to have a place in South Beach. I mean, like, if money were no option, or no, was no issue, shoot. But we'll get something, and we're not in any rush either, I mean, we wanted to start narrowing this down, and we wanted to do this right, even if it takes a year or two, and really figure out what we want, and we don't want to just rush into something. I mean, we want to feel like this is like the home that we feel like we really want to have, because it's going to be a home that we're going to have for the rest of our lives, So anyway, we had that conversation on the way home tonight. We drove with the windows down. It was so nice. We got rented this Jeep down here, and because of the rain, we weren't even able to take the top off the whole time that we were down here. Isn't that so silly? But anyway, I miss my pups like crazy. I can't wait to get them in bed and cuddle with them and sleep with them. So anyway, all right, you guys. Oh, I should check in. Well, this has kind of actually gone long tonight, so I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to watch some of, what time is it? Oh my Lord, it's 1:21. I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to watch some Ratchet. Is it Ratchet or Ratchet? It's Ratchet, I think. Nurse Ratchet. Mildred Ratchet. Anyway, I'm going to get off here now, and if you've been looking for my drama videos, I haven't been posting a whole lot this week. It's just been really nice to like be away with Alex and spending a lot of time. We are actually going to do a Q&A tomorrow, but I think I found something to do a drama video about. There really hasn't been a whole lot going on either. So I'm going to do a drama video on Saturday and post it, and then our Q&A I'm going to post on Sunday when we are coming back, and then Monday I will be back to uploading on all of my channels regularly on Monday. So if you have been looking for those other channels and you've been like, why hasn't Peter been posting? I think I like took 3 days off from my drama channel or something like that. I did a bunch of cameos tonight. It was so fun. I had such a good time. I like sat in, that is the one thing, is like, it is really, really nice to have an extra room. Like, if I could have another room in our house where I could literally just, like, set up, like, have, like, a filming space and an office and all that kind of, like, that would be so nice. If we had, like, an extra bedroom, but... So, anyway, but we don't. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but like Alex is always like, if you finish cleaning the basement, then we can redo the basement, and when we redo the basement, then we can make it a little area for you down there for your YouTube little studio or something. What would I do with a studio? And then I always think I still have my stupid office, which I'm paying for, and I don't do, anything. But people are always like, why don't you just get rid of it? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about subleasing it. I've had like 2 people have reached out to me and been like, can I sublease some space for like friends of mine? And I'm like, yeah, sure, because it's just sitting there not doing anything. And then and like Alex is always like, why don't you use it as a YouTube space? Like, why don't you turn like the different areas, like you could turn one area into like a Peterism area. And then I'm like, but then I wouldn't be filming from home. And he's like, yeah, but you could go there late at night. You're up late at night anyway. You could film your videos late at night, and the next day you would have them ready just to post. You wouldn't have to do anything. I'm like, well, that is true. So, I don't know, I'm thinking about that. But it feels weird, like, going somewhere else to film my videos. Like, what would I do without my chair? I like my chair. So, anyway. all kinds of things I can do. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get off here now. I really have been thinking a lot about using that office so as like a studio space, because I'm like, it's stupid. It's just sitting there, you know. I could do something cool with it. I don't know how to do a green screen, or I would do like a green screen, but I'll just like make a mess of it. But I could have like a nice little like sitting area where I do videos and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll figure something out. It doesn't matter. I cannot believe Halloween is a week from tomorrow. I am so excited. Happy Halloweener. All right, you guys, listen, I'm not going to do a huge long outro tonight. So, be kind to one another. Let somebody know how much they mean to you. That's the most important thing. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation, like you are valuable. You're going to have great opportunities coming your way all day today and positive experiences all day long. And if your day gets off track, well, you can start your day over whenever you want, just like that. And if you like this video vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And please make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel and all of my channels. I know people are saying that they're getting unsubscribed sometimes, so just check and make sure. And if you haven't subscribed already, please think about it and join all the us OG Wolfpackers over here. Wolfpack is all of us just trying to get through life one day at a time, trying to be kind and caring and loving and compassionate to others and forgiving. So, like it says in the 4 agreements, always lead with love. And let's put some goodness, kindness, compassion, love, and forgiveness out there in the world. And I love you guys so much. And I know you probably missed the car vlogs. They're coming back real soon. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. That went long. This went longer tonight than I thought it would. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.